This is the Cannabis Podcast on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
Hello, everybody. This is Ian Beckles, and welcome back to the Dignitary Cannabis Podcast. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, and hopefully you got a chance to go out there and smoke some good stuff. Now, I started this Cannabis Podcast way back when to educate the masses and maybe kill a few stigmas because there's still a lot of stigmas out there about marijuana. So it's about education, and that's what we're trying to do with this podcast and also webcast as well. Much love also goes out to CURALEAF, who is our title sponsor. There's a few CURALEAFs in this area. There's one right here on Gandhi, down the street across from the Starbucks. They have one in North Florida. They have one in Lutz as well. So that's my choice, you know, for my dispensary. I've been to a few of them now. I've been to probably all of them by now, and it's just comfortable. You know, they have great customer service. They have great products, and they just treat you easy. It's just the easiest place. And from my, experience, weed smokers are easy people. So that's what CURALEAF is all about. Now, like I said, I'm trying to break the stigmas out there and kill some of the stigmas. And we're going to talk a little bit about those as we go forward. If anybody ever wants to email me, it's ianbeckles@radioinfluence.com. You can also follow me social media. I'm mostly an Instagram guy. It's Ian_Beckles, Beckles. So it's about the stigmas that we're trying to kill. And listen, I'm not a doctor, but I can read. And when I'm reading some of these studies, here's a study for you. Frequent marijuana consumers are actually more physically active than non-users. Now, does that not smash a stereotype? Everybody always envisions the weed smoker sitting in his basement with his buddies, and they're listening to Def Leppard, and they're playing video games, and they have a box of pizza open, and there's nothing productive happening. That's not what marijuana is anymore. You know, we're getting to a point now where people are like, well, how can you smoke and be productive? There's people smoking and being productive around you all day long. You just don't know what's happening. I'm just letting you know. These dispensaries aren't making millions of dollars from people not smoking weed. Okay, let's get that straight. So as far as being productive, you can be productive as long as you do things sensibly. And that's what the world is about. Any medication, if you do it sensibly, it works. And they actually said people who frequently use marijuana, particularly those age 40 and older, spend more time engaging in physical activity than non-users. Once again, that's crushing every stigma out there. You remember the PSAs back in the day, whether it's Reefer Madness as a movie, which was terrifying. For God's sakes, don't smoke any weed. Either that, or remember the PSA of the young lady melting in the chair, and they were like, can you move? Well, she can't move. Well, it can get that way, but it doesn't have to get that way, because marijuana can be part of your life and make you better, okay? I'm pretty much active all day long. I get up in the morning. The first thing I do is I usually go work out. Not always, but usually. I have to be on all day long. I'm on air. I'm cutting spots. I'm doing different things, and marijuana is part of my life. I just don't take so much to where I'm incoherent. And you can get there now. Don't get it twisted. But the difference is you can be productive and still be getting marijuana in your system. If you're a drinker, you know you can't. You know you can't. You have 2 drinks and you ain't good no more, okay? You don't speak well, you're slurring your words. That's not what marijuana is about, okay? I mean, I could take a couple puffs, go up on a stage, or put a microphone in my face, and I feel like I'm better. Your inhibitions go away. So, once again, like I said, we're trying to smash all the stigmas here as we go forward. Now, obviously, there's a business part of it as well, and it's bringing a lot of money to all these states. Listen to these statistics. Illinois cannabis sales were smashing records, and revenue is exceeding that of liquor. So people are smoking more weed now in Illinois than they're drinking liquor. And people, that's a good thing, all right? Less DUIs. There's less domestic abuse. There's less people abusing pills. These are all statistics that are good for anybody's community. And Illinois recorded nearly $115 million in sales the month of April alone, which is the highest grossing month since it was legal. And comparison to last year, where they were at 37 million. So this year, 115 million, last year, 37 million. And that's just in the month of April. So think of how many jobs that's bringing in. Think of how much, money it's bringing to the community. Hopefully helping schools, hopefully improving our roads. And that's what life is about, okay? So cannabis is doing some very productive things in our country, whether you're for it or against it. And I don't know why anybody would be against it anymore. Now, there's a lot of different ways to get cannabis in your system. You hear of indica, you hear of sativa, you're hearing of THC, CBD, you're hearing of CBG, Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10. There's so much going on that, I'll be honest with you, I'm confused too. And even when I read this stuff, a lot of it still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I could read it 3, 4, or 5 times. At times I'm like, well, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know what the hell they're trying to say. So you just got to know what you're taking. Now, Delta 8 is something that we have in our shop, and I'm here at the Dignitary Cafe. We're on the corner of West Shore and Gandy, 4817 South West Shore. And if you ever need some CBD products, and we have Delta 8, and we have hemp products, and just come hang out. We're a cafe. It's just a cool place to come hang out. And if you have your medical marijuana card, you can go back and take care of your business. And that's what that's all about. But we do have a bunch of Delta 8 products. We have Drip, which is a local company. These are the gummies right here, which is absolutely delicious. The peach. These are unbelievable sellers right here. They have the Drip capsules where you get the Delta 8 as well. We have the tincture from Chill Coffee. We have the cartridges, and we have the pens. So there's a lot of different ways to get Delta 8 into your system. And once again, come here to Dignitary Cafe and we'll take good care of you. Now, when they ask what Delta 8 is, let me read what they say, okay, and see if it makes any darn sense to you. Delta 8 THC is derived from federally legal hemp, which by law contains less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC. That can be confusing. Delta 8 is derived from CBD extracted from hemp, but in scientific terms, it is Delta 8 THC. Exactly. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to tell you this. CBD doesn't get you high. It's medicinal. It has therapeutic values. It doesn't get you high. It almost can't. I know it can't. It might smooth you out a little bit. It doesn't get you high. Delta 8 will get you high. All right, you could take too much Delta 8, no doubt. So it has the same value as THC. And to be honest with you, at this moment, it's a technicality. And people all around the country are taking advantage of Delta 8 because they don't need their medical marijuana card and they'll get you high. So there's people are selling things at gas stations that get you high. Now you have to make sure you're getting the right brands. And like I said, the brand like Drip, a local Tampa company, they're an excellent brand because there's people that don't do it right. Okay, there really are. So you want to make sure that you're repping a brand that's been doing it for a while and doing it the right way. When we were at 420 SRQ, when Dignitary Cafe was hanging out there, and we were one of the booths, we were selling some of the hemp flower, and we were selling Delta 8, and most of the CBD, hemp, Delta 8. And we're at a cannabis event, okay? So you got to figure everybody there smokes cannabis. Most people that smoke cannabis don't smoke hemp. And most people that smoke cannabis don't want to ingest anything that doesn't get them high. I mean, that's just the way it goes. A cannabis smoker, you say, this doesn't get you high. They don't want it. Okay, so we're at this cannabis event, and the most popular thing by far was Delta 8. Because people thought for some cockamamie reason that they can buy THC at a festival. That's not going to happen for a while. One day it may happen, it's just not today. It's not completely legalized right now. So if you want to get THC, obviously you have to go to the dispensary and you have to get your medical marijuana card. And for those of you that haven't got your card yet, we want to help you out with that because we had the Dr. Cannabis that was out here a couple weeks ago, And I've had probably a half dozen or so of my good friends, like good friends of mine, some of whom I work with. I explained to them why it was important to get their card, and they kind of fought me at first. So I got about 4 or 5 or 6 of my good friends that got their card, and 2 of them told me that they love me afterwards. All right? Grown-ass men telling me that they love me because of the experience that they had. Because if you haven't been to a dispensary, when you go, if you're a weed person and you've never been to a dispensary, you ain't ready for that much euphoria in one day. You know, it's like, you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? It's like that, okay, but with weed. So when you walk in and instead of one satchel, somebody has 12 different strains, and you can get pre-rolled and you can get gummies, and some dispensaries have chocolate and some cookies, and you know, you've never really been exposed to that. So, like I'm saying, you have to go out and get your medical marijuana card. It just makes sense, and it gets you legal. And we had Dr. Cannabis out here a couple weeks ago, and it's going to be out here again. It's going to be May 17th, 18th, and 19th, and the 20th, actually. It's going to be here at the Dignitary Cafe, 4817 Southwest Shore. And you want to go to drcannabis.com. That's Cannabis, B-U-S. C-A-N-N-A-B-U-S. drcannabis.com. And they're going to be out here, and you can just go there, click on, you know, the schedule an appointment. And if you use the promo code Dignitary, then you're going to get, I think it's about 10% off. You're going to save about $25. So take advantage of that. So promo code Dignitary, drcannabis.com. But listen, getting your card is essential, people. You know, because, you know, I don't want to tell people they don't want to get vaccinated because, you know, that's become a political thing. Getting your medical marijuana card is not political. It's just a smart thing to do. And like I said, once you go to, you know, the dispensary and you see what they have going on, and you'll wonder, what the hell have I been doing in the whole time? Why have I been hanging out, you know, picking on one bag when I could have had this smorgasbord, okay? And that's what, you know, that's what dispensaries are all about. You got to check that out for sure. They have so many things. They got some new products. So they have Select is one of their brands that they carry at CURALEAF, and this is their new THC Nano Drops. I mean, it's so darn easy. It's like, you ever use Mio for water? Well, that's the same thing. You just take take this off, and it pre-squeezes 5 milligrams, and you just kind of dip it in your water, gives it some taste, and you know, it's 5 milligrams, so it's not crazy strong, but you know, it'll get you chill. It'll help you out at night for sure. And they have some new. CURALEAF has fantastic gummies. All right. So I guess they call them their THC chews, and they've always had raspberry and strawberry and lemon. They may have a couple other flavors, lime maybe. They just got a new one. It's called Sweet Heat, and I did get a chance to taste that, and it was absolutely fantastic. Kind of like a cinnamon candy. So I think CURALEAF has the best gummies out there, so you want to go try them out there, definitely. Now, here's a sponsor to our show, and I've put on so many people to this now that it's getting ridiculous. I should own part of the company. TERP Pen XL. I was never a big dabbing guy, all right? People came in here and said, we want to try dab, and they bring these crazy big old contraptions, and there's all these, I didn't even know what they call the damn things, but it just seemed like a lot. And I remember just saying, it's too much for me. I'm not a dab guy. I like to smoke a blunt. It's real easy. And then I ran into TERP Pen XL, and this is it. This is all it is. You don't see any crazy contraptions. This is about as easy as it comes. You know, you take this off. We got the coils right here, and when you inhale, the coils heat up, and then it's real easy. You take something like some shatter, take it out, put it at the end, you hit it, and that's it. It's that easy, okay? I mean, it's as easy as I've seen, and what's amazing is right in here, you can hold, you got a quart storage bucket right here where you can hold your crumble or your shatter, which is cool. And like I said, look how easy and small it is. And I've seen other people bringing around their dab stuff, and they got big old satchels, so you don't need that. TERP Pen XL is the way to go. Look how easy that is. And for our listeners, they have some great deals. Go to terppenxl.com and you get 20% off discount code. They're not that darn expensive to begin with, so you're going to want to go check it out. But you want to use the promo code CANNABISPOD at checkout. At CANNABISPOD at checkout. So once again, go to terppenxl.com to get 20% off if you use CANNABISPOD at checkout. I guarantee you'll be happy with this. And when you go to CURALEAF, like I said, there's a lot of different things that could use over there in your terp pen, so you want to take advantage of that for sure. You know, there's so many people out there are now surfacing as far as, you know, dispensaries. And like I said, I kind of walked around and tried out a bunch of them. And CURALEAF is actually one of the last ones I tried, to be honest with you. And I heard people bragging on CURALEAF, and I said, well, I'll get there eventually. And when I finally got there, to me, it's just, like I said, it's easy. It's not a bunch of guards, and, you know, some of them are a little too tight for me. I like it nice and loose and relaxed. Now, I like to show you guys a strain of the week, and I actually went by CURALEAF today, the one right down the street. Last week, I gave you guys Purple Sunset. That was 13.7%. And this week, I'm going to present to you Black Widow. And I went there today to CURALEAF, and I got me a couple pre-rolls. These are real easy to roll. I mean, I didn't roll these. They roll them. They come in these little cylinders, which makes it real easy. And it's either you get this big in like that, or these minis. And this is Black Widow. And I don't think anything called Black Widow can be light. I wouldn't think. Most times Black Widows will either bite and kill you, or it's the mean person in the movie. So that's pretty much what these Black Widow is as a strain. It's 17%, which is pretty darn high, 17% THC and 1% CBG. And here's how they explain that it is. Black Widow is a balanced hybrid marijuana strain made by crossing South American with South Indian sativa. This strain is known to provide a buzzy head high that is accompanied by relaxing effects. Black Widow smells fruity and a little bit skunky. And this strain is extremely potent, ideal for anybody with a high THC tolerance. That would be me. Medical marijuana patients choose Black Widow to help relieve symptoms associated with back spasms, stress, and physical pain. So once again, Black Widow, I'm trying to smell the skunk part of it. I think you can smell the fruity part of it, but the skunk, not so much. I don't like the smell of skunk. I'm actually terrified of skunks. So every week I'm going to bring you guys a strain of the week and try to tell you how it went. Last week I got a whole ounce of the Purple Sunset, and it's really nice. Smokes really easy. And I haven't quite indulged with these Black Widows yet. So when I smoke these, I'll let you guys know next week how it all turns out. It usually turns out pretty darn well. Now, another thing, I want to, that's the strain of the week. I want to bring you guys a product of the week as well. And this is something that, you can pretty much create everything that you can buy, okay? Because you can buy ground weed, you could ground it yourself. That's easy. You can make tinctures, you can make shatter, you can make crumble, you can make all those things, but why bother? They do it, and they do it well, and they know the percentages, and you make things yourself. And I've learned this the hard way. Eat somebody's brownies or eat somebody's cookies that doesn't know how much is in it, and that could turn out poorly. And I've seen it. Not so much to me, but I've seen it happen to other people. Turned my whole house into the Night of the Walking Dead one time, and it wasn't a pretty thing. So you know exactly how much you're getting when you're getting stuff at the dispensary. So I think you have to take advantage of that. Here, right here, the product of the week. This is a tincture from CURALEAF. This comes in a little bottle right here, and it comes with a dropper, and it's pretty easy. One dropper like that is 10 milligrams. Pretty easy, right? You can put it under your tongue. That works. And there's a lot of other ways you can do it as well. I actually looked up on YouTube different ways to use tincture. Put it in Jell-O, which is real easy. It mixes well. You can just mix it in juice. You can mix it in hot drinks, your tea. You can mix it in coffee. You can put it in e-cigarettes. I'm actually cooking tonight, and I'm making a sauce. I'm just going to put it in the sauce. You don't have to put it under your tongue. I mean, it's not the best tasting stuff in the world, but it doesn't taste bad. And you put it in the sauce, and you would never know what's in there other than the effect. So that's the way you have to kind of get innovative with marijuana and figure out ways to get it in your system. And not everybody's a smoker. Not everybody likes to smoke. But you give somebody some nice food and you put this in it and they don't even know what's in there, they're going to like the effects. Because smoking can be harsh to some people, and not everybody's really about that. So, once again, there's so many different ways to get it in your system. This is definitely one that I've just been really messing with here as of late. I love to cook. When I get off here, I'm going to make a nice seared scallops, and I'm going to put, a nice butter sauce with it. Once again, I'll probably end up putting two of them in there. Maybe 20 milligrams, I'm a pretty big guy, as you can see by the camera. So everybody has to know how much their limit is. That's it. And everybody always asks, how much is? Well, it doesn't matter how much is in it. The more important is how much is your limit. Like, how much do you need? Like, somebody say, that's 20, that's 25, that's 30, that's 5. I had somebody say, well, I had 8 gummies. And I go, well, you had 8 gummies. How many milligrams? I don't know. Find out. They found out they were 5 milligrams. That's 40 milligrams. You have to know that number. Because, if you go to CURALEAF, for instance, the Nano Drops is, 5 per squirt. Okay, so you can, if 40 is your limit, you can hit that pretty good. Everything you have is a little bit different, and you just have to look, obviously, like anything else you ingest. Look at, the label, and they'll tell you. I'm not saying everybody always takes what's on the label, because I would definitely be somebody who would not do that normally. If it says take 4, I'd take 6 normally. That's usually the equation. But you have to know what your tolerance is, and everybody out there is different. I've seen little people that have an unbelievable tolerance, and I've seen big people that will get floored with 20 milligrams. So once again, that's kind of your investigative journalism as you go. And I would say this: start low. Start low. Don't start high. You start high, and then all of a sudden you're scared. You get scared of it, okay? Because you can take too much. And I like to tell people this: if you take too much THC, you can reverse it by taking CBD. Not everybody knows that. So you should always have some CBD handy if you are ingesting a lot of THC. And when you take gummies, you guys know that it catches you on the back end. And it catches you on the front end, it catches you on the back end. And when you hear somebody say, I don't feel anything, I'm going to take another one. Let's wait a little bit, because I've seen that turn out real poor. Because smoking something, it kind of hits you right away. When you ingest it like that, and like I said, it hits you on the back end, and you never know when it's going to hit you. And obviously, there's a lot of other ways that you can, ingest marijuana. If you can do your own butter. I'm a big fan of the magical butter machine, which I have one here somewhere. I love to make butters in that. And also, there's other ways you can do. You can just boil water, okay? You can put a stick of butter in the water. You could take an ounce of weed, put it in a cheesecloth, stick it in the water, and then boil it for maybe 3 hours or so. Not boil it, simmer it for about 3 hours or so. You don't want to boil it. And then basically you squeeze the juice out into the cheesecloth, into the water, let it coagulate, that's a funny word, and then let it sit, cool down, and all the butter comes to the top. Take the butter off, and you have weed butter. It's that easy. But like I said, there's a magical butter machine that a lot of people use, and that makes people's lives really easy. So you want to check that out as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this podcast/webcast, bringing you guys education, maybe some funny anecdotes, telling you guys what's happening around the country, and also introducing you guys to cool products like the TERP Pen XL and some different things that we're doing here at the Dignitary Cafe. And like I said, if you're in this world, we'd love for you to come by and hang out and have a cup of coffee with us. If you have your medical marijuana card, like I said, there's places outside you can sit down and you can smoke all you want. Okay, we're that place. We're easygoing, progressive type people. So you know how that is. We love to see you. And if you want to email me, it's ian@radioinfluence.com. And once again on Instagram, Ian_Beckles. So one love goes to CURALEAF. You get a chance to get out there sometime this week, do it. Like I said, there's a bunch of them around here. And let's make sure that, you know where you're going and you're getting the right things for you. All right, that's what that's all about. This is Ian Beckles, and I have a wonderful time talking to people. Thank you for listening. And it's all about education, and hopefully you guys come back because every single episode we'll be doing some different things and doing some innovative things. Thank you to Radio Influence, We Beam TV, and thank you for you guys listening in. CURALEAF, one love. Peace out.
For more information on medical cannabis, make sure to follow Ian Beckles on Twitter @Ian Beckles. This has been the Cannabis Podcast on Radio Influence.